Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with the Moons of Madness blind. So let's continue exploring the facility. Okay, I kind of wasn't expecting such a sudden transit from, industrial designs to, well, I guess this is still an industrial design, it's just...
Let me swaddle you in viscera and wrap you in the nature of my bones.
Stop it! Get out of my head!
You could crack open your helmet like a walnut. And my voices will still be there. Not in the spaces we know, but in between.
I was thrown off by this at first because from afar I thought it's some kind of a relief or like a sculpture or something, but it's just the rock. So which way should I go? I assume down. So for now let's explore the other rooms first. They're like padded cells. Or some test subjects they were studying, maybe?
Huh! There are more of those things?
They called to them, and they answered. Outside time in a dreamscape. Manipulated, contorted their beings until they emerged from chaos anew.
Okay, no way to open this, which is perhaps good if there's one of the monsters inside. He probably wouldn't appreciate me going in there. It's full of like equations and stuff, the cell, and chemical designs, of which I understand nothing, so pretty pointless. Yeah, so I guess it was a mutated child, because there is literally an ultrasonographic picture of a fetus here, right? Why else would it be here if it wasn't connected with what I saw previously? Numbers cease their meaning. Am I supposed to take from that maybe it doesn't matter what I put in? Nope, well, it was worth a try. Whoa, whoa. Are those clones?
Holy shit! That's all of us. The entire Invictus crew. Are we the originals? The copies.
Huh. That's an interesting point. Nelapor, Van Buren, Volkova, Newehart, Shane. That's me then. And then Wilcox, Josephine. But why did they clone us? Like, what's so... especially me. Like, what's so... Although, wait. I guess, in a way, cloning me might have been the best move. Because then they can kill me, well, quote-unquote me, over and over again, like in attempt to intimidate my mother or something. Like, I would imagine it would still be seriously fucked up. Like, even if you knew it was a clone and not your original child that you nursed, yourself, it would still be fucked up to see that person die, because you would be so familiarized with how they look, with the general, physical form of that person, so that seeing them being hurt would still be hurtful to you, even if you knew on an intellectual level that it was actually a clone. And actually, disregarding that makes me sound a little bit like a psychopath myself, because what I said seemed to imply that as long as it isn't the original person, then it's okay to torture the person because it's a clone. Obviously, that's wrong, because a cloned person is still a person. They feel pain. Like, even if they were an animal, I think it would be wrong to torture them. Well, an animal other than human. Obviously, humans are animals themselves, but you know what I meant. MRI. Well, what does this say? S. Chandra.
We're all expendable assets to Orochi. Wasn't enough to know all our secrets. They can't leverage us, they'll just replace us.
Contingency protocol. The Icarus project is authorized to enact a contingency plan in case of unforeseen circumstances that may put the Invictus crew at risk. A replica of the individual will be made and preserved until a severe violation has occurred. Severe violation of policy include the following: unauthorized transmission of operation information to an outside source regardless of content, verbal threat or intent to control or sabotage mission objectives, homicide, witnessing a homicide. Interesting that they make a distinction. So if I kill someone, they kill me, but if I see someone kill someone, they also kill me, presumably to protect their own interests in case they don't want to kill the other person, or if they want to avoid, legal trouble. Sustaining a fatal or crippling injury. Okay, that's also interesting. So if I become crippled, they kill me and replace me with my clone. Witnessing the retrieval or release of a cloned subject. Please review proper safety guidelines before retrieval or release of a cloned individual. Discretion is the utmost importance. Failure to follow the protocol will result in immediate termination. But I don't really understand, why do they need the exact clones of the same people? Like, is it to keep up appearances? Like, so that they don't have to explain to people back on Earth, like, for example, to my family, that I've died? They cannot just pretend I didn't, because they have my clone. System report. Cloning successful. Organic tissue shows no sign of deterioration through advanced aging process. Memory implantation through nocturnal brain scan completed. Cryostasis active. Okay. I don't quite understand why they go so far with it. Like, what's the practical point of that? But I guess maybe I'll learn more as I go.
Doesn't end.
Split from a single seed. Germinated, scribbled on carbon paper, they multiply like vermin. Sentience is a glitch in the sensory organs. Pain, a cancer fed by reality.
Wait, are they cloning us indefinitely? Is that what's happening here? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, maybe it's not the same set of people. I guess maybe this will tell me. Experiment 269, Project Icarus. We are experimenting with the subject phenomenon entity, oftentimes called the filth, what Dr. Volkova prefers to call Z-path, each sample tightly contained and weakened with a particular regimen of radiation, as per the Icarus protocols. The goals of this experiment is to see if the effects of this preternatural contaminant are same on the cloned human tissue and cloned hybrid human tissue as on a normal human tissue. If the effects are not the same, how do they differ? Today we applied minute amounts of the filth on cloned cells and observed. Effects were largely similar, with molecules of the contaminant attacking the cells. However, the process moved more slowly than we've observed before. The filth has escaped. I have sealed my safety suit and performed all the necessary protocols. I have injected the radiated serum as outlined in the procedures. The side effects are intense but mundane and far better than the alternative. How did this happen? There was no breach. I like the theory that the filth flows, even undulates among dimensions outside of our three. I think that this theory may have merit. I have sent for help. I am trying not to panic. I am recording the findings this mishap affords. The voices continue. I ignored them at first, congratulated myself on my rationalism, but the voices learned to mimic my voice, and I thought they were me, and I was the voices. No, that doesn't make sense. The radiation must be working. My limbs have begun to do things on their own, but only when I'm not looking. I have to stare at my limbs very carefully, or they misbehave. I've made a careful regimen to make sure to not look at any one body part for more than 7 seconds. I have to keep watch on them. Except for my right arm, good arm, I'm a scientist. Gibberish. Cut off arm today, right arm, good arm. Only uncorrupted part, pristine. It will be pristine forever. Stored good arm in the morgue, code 9510. I'm a scientist, I will lock myself in a padded room. Everyone is safe. Scientist. So, was the thing in the padded room this scientist that has mutated entirely? And I guess I will take out his arm and then use it to scan the palm reader and go down, right? So it was 9510 and 9510. 9510. And 9510. Okay. Why would you store a robot in a morgue? Although, I guess they were referred to as androids, so I guess they contain organic parts as well.
Oh god, that's disgusting.
A tactile tool, tender, untethered.
Okay, I'm not supposed to go. Freak! Come on! I was retreating. Did it save? Where did it save? That's the question. Ah, okay, right here. So not a problem, really. I've made the same mistake again.
Oh god, that's disgusting.
A tactile tool, tender, untethered.
shame I can't flip it, because I'm interested to see, like, it would be interesting to see that it has the same scar as me, and to then learn that the previous scientist that has died was me, although that wouldn't make much sense because I'm an engineer by education, so I probably wouldn't even understand what's happening here. Well, let's go down.
Oh shit! Come on! Come on! Come on, open! Let's go! Come on! Come on! Open! Come on!
Why does it move? Why does it move so slowly? Like, that's kind of...
Okay, come on, close! Close, you piece of shit, close! Ha! Yes! Fuck you, you plant piece of shit!
It could have killed me, like, 3 times over. It wouldn't even be that difficult.
Strangely, it tugs at the tides of the mind. It pulls the planet apart. Do you feel it?
There's a rover here. Can't connect to it. So I guess it's pointless.
My mind opened like a nocturnal flower, aching for the pollinator bat. I went through nameless eons and inconceivable dimensions to worlds of elder outer eternity. Oh, how rock casts a shadow. A corona surrounds the dark.
Okay, whatever. Nothing particularly interesting visible from up here. Eight-headed monster, which is Orochi, right? It's made like of 8 subsidiaries.
Locked in. What are they keeping here?
Await little response. They are kindly imploring me to stay in place while they are trying to murder me.
So the Lord God banished him from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he had been taken. Genesis 3:23.
Okay, that's weird to have a passage from the Bible in such a place. Although I guess it might refer to the project name, Eden. Because are they trying to like recreate paradise, or like is this what's this about? Orochi.
New Eden. Orochi is planning on building a city here. A failsafe.
There is no escape. The dream will consume them. They are inevitable.
New Eden indeed. So I guess I was kind of correct in my assumption.
The clock is stuck on 4:23.
Is that the same as the passage from the Bible? Nope. This is 3:23. Interesting. Well, I'm not sure if that's relevant, I just find it weirdly coincidental. Project Eclipse. Subject status stasis. Enter activation code for phase 2. All employees should evacuate. A upon phase 2 initialization. Okay, does this say the same thing? Nope. Project Eclipse. Sensory deprivation. Lighting 100%. Soundscape 10%. Numbing agent. So this is about releasing the clones, right? Right? Oh, no. No. This is about whatever's asleep under the surface, because it says F. Communication with the dreamer requires a sensory deprived environment, even for you. Use those settings. Ah, okay, so you have to sensory deprive yourself so that you are more in tune with the dreamers, and they can communicate with you, which is actually interesting because in real life, if you like enter a sensory deprivation chamber for long enough, you actually start hallucinating, because the human mind is not used to being deprived of sensory data for long periods of time. So if you don't see or hear anything for a prolonged period of time, your mind starts making up things, just because otherwise it's weird, because it does that to prevent you from going crazy, but that is in itself crazy, because you're starting to hear or even see things that are not real. What about this? Use last. Okay. I assume this is all controlled from here.
Meeting at 5:12? That's oddly specific. The CEO of Orochi was here. It makes no sense.
On Earth. That which cannot be sung.
It's probably a 4-letter word. I should look around for some clues.
Well, probably Eden, although that would be insultingly easy, but also easy to try. Okay, that's
an emergency failsafe if Project Eclipse is released. If I can lower the shield, I can get out of this room.
that's almost annoying. Like I find that borderline insulting that, you know, this shadowy corporation of immense power, trifling with powers beyond our understanding, has chosen, like, a child could have broken into this computer. Which, I guess, as far as hacking goes, I'm basically an equivalent of a child. Status quarantine. Blast doors active. Magnetic stasis field online. The fragment has become agitated. The workers are unable to resist its communications. They scratch at the walls, run through the complex, reduced to a wild, animalistic frenzy. I was able to close the chamber and enact the highest protocols, but I can hear the echoes ring in my ears. I see the crew of the Cyrano. I have never seen them before, but I know who they are with all of my being, and they stare through their cracked helmets, the filth reaching out towards me. I can't stay here. Eclipse has been shattered. I have activated the proper protocols. I doubt they will be enough. Doors will automatically unlock in the event that the subject of Project Eclipse is released. Really? Is the protagonist going to do that just to get out of... I guess I shouldn't overstate how powerful of a force self-preservation instinct is, but it seems to me that releasing some ancient god from containment just because I want to get out of here is kind of a bad idea. Project Symmetry.
The rush is upon you. You don't get to be the same person after they get in.
The numbing agent used in Project Eclipse to keep the fragment under control is created from the strange metal powering the machine in the alien ruins. Since the active mechanism for sedation is poorly understood, we have taken the precaution of stockpiling a large amount of the metal on board the Invictus. In the event of an emergency, the Invictus can be launched. A self-guiding rocket has been attached to the payload. It can be triggered with a code phrase once the Invictus safely clears the atmosphere. Communication specialist Delapore was tasked with loading the payload and setting up the detonation trigger. Due to the sensitivity of this operation, and his location at the off-site communication dish, he is considered the operative with the most chance of success in case of such a catastrophic event. He alone knows the trigger word and will use it at his discretion. Father, the Cyrano has crashed. Something happened, and EMP? We could not analyze it in time. The filth has reacted violently and unpredictably, spreading like a cancer across the entire base. The Dreamer fragment has sent the workers into a panic, searching for a way to escape. The security system has been triggered. The entire base has been compromised. I have shut down Project Eclipse. An emergency kill signal has been sent to shut down the communication via Angelus. We will leave no trace. Semper Servus Control. Cyrano. Catalog number. Epoch time. I understand none of this, to be honest. The Immortal Engine. As you know, we owe a great debt to the work of Shane Newehart. This site was chosen based on her later work, notes and research, kept under the strictest clearance. With her exhaustive library of equations and scrolled symbology has been daunting. While it has been daunting, our analysis still continues to see results. Most recently, in the acquisition of the two recent items. You are already aware of the fragment of a Dreamer, which we recovered. Research continues into the significance of this fragment and how it tries to communicate. Upon the magnetic energy signatures first recorded by Amundsen's expedition to Antarctica, we were able to triangulate the location within kilometers. Through excavation at Site 9, the team is excited to announce that we have uncovered an actual Gaia engine on Mars. Further exploration in the chamber containing the engine has been halted, and we defer to your judgment. We await your determination. Semper Severus Control. Unauthorized message. Intercepted unauthorized video transmission. This is Trevor Graham, commander of the Cyrano 1. An EMP fried our systems, and we are currently hurtling towards Mars at approximately 50 meters per second. Fuck protocol, fuck Orochi. It wasn't hours after they sent us the coordinates, and I could see it in everyone's eyes. Dr. Baduri drew the short straw when the heat shield controls malfunctioned. We were not equipped for a mission like this. Command knew it. It's a fucking support crew, but we follow procedure. After 20 minutes, he stopped responding to comms. We tried to reel him in, but his face, when he turned, the entire mask was covered in blackness, just a spider webbing of black oil across the entire thing and leaking onto the void. It cracked straight through the fucking helmet. Constanza grabbed his arm, and that shit, it crawled up her suit, wrapped around, squeezing itself inside. Pounding increases in volume. That pounding? The airlock. I couldn't let them back in. The infection, just being near it, made my temples seethe. They are all infected. Doesn't matter. The fucking hatch won't close. Any time now we're gonna bust apart and rain down in pieces on the Martian desert. Pierce and Vogel are lucky. They are still asleep in their pods. Won't feel a thing. I'm taking it down with me, all of it. This is the Cyrano. I am about to enter the Martian atmosphere on a secret mission to help stake a claim. They don't care about the lives they lose to do it. You hear me, Orochi? The whole world is going to see this. The whole fucking world will know. Well, they won't. Although, maybe they will if I get out alive.
I'm getting at. I wonder if those consoles have anything to do with Project Eclipse.
Okay, so I can't interact with this. As I said, it seems to me to be a supremely bad idea to activate this Project Eclipse, but I don't have much of a choice because the emergency protocol requires Delapour. He knows the password, and I can't contact him while here. So I guess what's going to happen is I'm going to release it first and then look for a way to shut it back in, which is a bit hilarious, but 20 lighting. Wait, how do I... What am I even pushing? Ah, okay, numbing agent 100. I'm not sure I understand how this works. Ah, okay, it has to like equalize or something? Which, I'm not going to lie, is kind of annoying. Yeah, it is annoying because even if I set one right, it's going to screw itself up if I change the other, right? So it's like, no, it could as well take me eternity. Okay, 94. $90. 91. Yeah, this is going to take me a while because I have no idea what I'm actually doing. Like, if I wrote it down, it would be a little bit easier to remember which one changes the value by which amount. Okay. Use last, the middle one, apparently. So how do I... Well, I guess it's time to release the dreamer. However stupid that is. It's like a heart or something. They said it's a fragment, right? So it's not even the whole thing. It's like a fragment of its corpse or something, but it's still alive in a way. It's weird how it's bound with what looks like ordinary chains. It's kind of surprising to me, you know. Those kinds of creatures usually don't respond to something like that. So what am I doing? Ah, okay, the other console has enter activation for phase 2. Didn't it write about it in the emails? $5.12, so maybe it's 1512.
That didn't work. There's got to be a hint somewhere for the right setting on these dials.
Five, 1, 2. How about now? Well, that was immensely stupid, but
Brilliance, yes. Let it connect.
what can I do? The game practically forced me to do it. I don't think I had any alternative.
Our family therapist's office. I can still smell the musty leather sofa in the corner. My parents took me here when I started having night terrors.
Okay, I'm kind of...
I understand that some might consider my behavior obsessive. Yes. We may not agree on the finer points, but I can't let it go on any longer. Not like this. My father, he always used to say, "Cynthia, your brain has its own mouth, and all it does is devour books." I was insatiable. I learned to see data where no one had ever thought to look. But I never thought it would consume me, strip me of my accolades, that it would affect my son. Can't keep doing this. That second mouth in my head, it just keeps eating. It will never stop. I know how that sounds.
I am weirded out by how calm the protagonist is, considering everything that's happening. Like, even disregarding the fact that I've been transported to another weird vision slash memory slash something, I've literally uncovered some ancient god of whatever and freed it, and the protagonist is like, "Oh, this is my therapist's office from where I was a kid." Like, come on, you could, be a little more perturbed by what's happening. I'm not sure I buy that, to be honest. Again, with the twin maps, it's cool. Log entries. New patient, Shane Newehart, 7-year-old male with mother, Cynthia, reporting night terrors with complex hallucinations, claims to remember every detail. Mother encouraged him to describe the terror, and so he did. It is made of vines, tendrils, and teeth. He emphasized the teeth. With human hands and face, the vines emerge from every shadow and fill the room, twining upon themselves, eventually crushing him to the bed. All the space that remains is a small dark tunnel through which the creature stares at him from across the room, and he can see it through his eyelids, and its face inches closer minute by minute, but his mom always wakes him up before the teeth. Shane became extremely distraught, and the rest of the session was spent consoling him. For any chance to develop a rapport with him, I'll need to see them separately for several sessions. Call Cynthia to set up a time next week to discuss home life, school performance, her concerns, etc. Shane's general practitioner, ruled out physiological causes for the night terrors. Must be related to anxiety, a lot of tension in the Newehart house. Shane might be genetically predisposed. Today he showed me the handheld chess game he plays during recess. Smart kid, but needs help with his confidence. Cynthia remains a challenge. She answered my questions about Sean, but was reluctant to talk about herself. I insisted I wouldn't understand. As I encouraged her to give me a chance, she succumbed to a dissociative episode, which we talked about at length once it passed. She called it seeing through the eyes of elsewhere. We will have to revisit this next week. I convinced her to see me as a patient. Okay. I can't read anything from the desk. And this is the book that she wrote. Can't read any of this. The textures are a little bit too blurry. So let's inspect the book.
Mom's seminal work. The one that solidified her reputation and reinvented the field of quantum engineering.
Engineering.
The ability to harness dimensional shifts, equations to predict fluctuations in time, not just on the subatomic level. She was a genius. Feels like so long ago.
With her breakthrough book, Engineering Dimensions, celebrated theoretical mathematician Dr. Cynthia Newehart completely changed the postgraduate study of mathematics. This beautiful new edition has been formatted for teaching and features a foreword from the author, chapter discussion questions, and an extended index for easy reference. Okay. Wait, that's that toy spaceship from the beginning of the game. So did I literally take my childhood toy with me to actual space? I'm not sure if that's like heartwarming or kind of sad. Again with the general. I don't know who that is, unfortunately.
Can anyone tell me how to access the space between dreams?
Doesn't sound like a question that would be asked at a scientific seminar. Again with the circles. Spaces Between the Walls of Sleep by Dr. Cynthia Newehart, from the critically acclaimed author of Engineering Dimensions and Wandering in Time. Okay. Question.
Excellent try, Gloria. However, while the roads of Agartha do traverse the vastness of time and space, the corridors between dreams are a separate sort of passageway, and the two only intersect in very rare places.
Wait, what? Was this an actual, like, did she conduct lectures like on the occult, on like supernatural knowledge? Like, it's something that happens, I guess, even in real life, but not at university. Answer: the doors of light, the fabled roads of Agartha, are said to be able to take one throughout space and time. Wrong. Okay, that's weird. Wandering in Time, Dr. Cynthia Newehart.
That's very cutting edge, Adam, and
while the full answer to that is quite complex, that is still incorrect.
The doors of the universe, wormholes, and event horizons offer the possibilities to go to impossible places.
What a distinctive answer, Rupert. That is an interesting theological paradox, but it is wrong.
I have seen God and it's terrible. I have seen God and it's terrible. Wrong. Seen God. Seen God. Seen God. Seen God. It's all the same message. The gates of heaven. God holds the keys to the door of the entire universe, and by His grace we are allowed to enter. To be honest, if I received an answer to any question formatted like this, I would be majorly creeped out. Any other answers? I don't see any. Ah, there is one here.
Very good. The answer is the dreaming ones. The dreaming ones were, the dreaming ones are, the dreaming ones shall be. Not in the spaces we know, but between. They walk serene and primal, undimensioned and to us unseen. They can teach us deep knowledge, secrets past the skin of eternity.
Okay, was she like a leader of a cult or something? Like, assuming any of that ever actually happened. Obviously this is a hallucination.
I'm having a hard time noticing when it's happening. Yesterday, I saw a light streaming through the kitchen window. A mote, illuminated, suspended in the air. Spent the remainder of the day in my office researching. I've been accused of isolating myself. I merely am who I am and have always been an isolate. Isolated by knowledge. Imagine discovering a dictionary of new words to describe the universe. Words that no one else could ever know. The promise of limitless knowledge to an insatiable mind. Is it any surprise I struggle with domesticity? But I had to make a choice. I'm sealing it away. I have to try. Shane is my universe.
Okay. Okay, any new updates here? Week 14, because this is the same, right? Yeah. Patient functioning continues to fluctuate. She is managing to find relief from auditory hallucinations by isolating herself in the basement. Symptoms waned enough to attend session today. Washed hair in the basement sink, apparently. Manages to take care of Shane during dissociative periods. Cynthia twice trailed off in an almost nonsensical babble. Claims to have had a lot of on her mind with the incoming publication of her latest book, and is not concerned. Not my first patient with such challenges, but for some reason I feel out of depth here. Thinking about referring her to someone else. Increased dosage in the meantime. Shane is apparently doing well with the support of his school's counselor. I'm sure he's glad to have his Thursday afternoons back. Okay. There is another book by her. Can I inspect anything else? Not really. So let's look at the book then. Wandering in Time.
The seizure started. She tried for a while. We were really close the summer she left her tenure. But I could tell she was restless. Wouldn't stop writing. She'd snap at the smallest things. The book sold really well, though. Popular with the pseudoscience crowd.
Wonder, whimper. How can the human mind access the moment between moments, the space between the spaces, if we depend on the other to recognize ourselves? What of ourselves would we perceive if we met what lies beyond? These questions are not as different as they seem. To answer them, we must first relearn how to see, as I have, through the universal language of mathematics. The gift is hidden within the angles. Come wander with me. Join Dr. Cynthia Newehart, revolutionary theoretical mathematician turned philosopher, on her tireless mission to push beyond the outer limits of human knowledge and learn how she balances her thrilling career with the demands of motherhood. Groundbreaking, comprehensive, heartfelt. At last, the elusive Dr. Newehart addresses our burning questions about her private life, thanks to editor G. Alexander. Okay. Okay, but you know what? I think this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to end it here. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!